Hello everyone, my name is Manish Chaturvedi. I am faculty of physics. Today we are going to discuss projectile motion, which is a topic from 11th class. Okay, so projectile motion, it is basically motion in 2D. That means motion in 2 dimensions. Okay, for example, if we are throwing a ball, okay, or if a bomb is fired from a cannon. So these are some examples of projectile motion. Okay, so let's understand projectile motion. I am drawing x and y axis. This is x axis and this is y axis. Okay, now a projectile is thrown. Okay, here I am saying that this is a projectile thrown. This figure is known as parabola. Okay, when we'll go ahead, we'll get to know that why projectile follows parabolic path. As of now, I am drawing a parabola. Okay, now if I am throwing a projectile, okay, then this is the initial velocity provided by me to the projectile. Okay, it makes an angle theta with the x-axis. It makes an angle theta with the x-axis. Okay, what is u? U is the initial velocity provided by me to the projectile. Okay, now I am doing its components. So it is u in x-axis. Its component will be u cos theta, and on y-axis its component will be u sin theta. Okay, so these are our initial velocities in x as well as in y direction. Clear? Okay, now we can study motion in 2 dimension or projectile motion by breaking it into 2 components. Okay, which are 2 components? That motion on x axis or motion on y axis, or simply I want to say that we will study motion in 2 dimensions by 2 simultaneous motion in 2 different dimensions or 2 different axes. Okay, now I am saying that this is horizontal direction and this is vertical direction. Okay, so now let's make a table. Write down here HD. Okay, it's not high definition, it's horizontal direction, and here VD. VD. Okay, so what is VD? VD is vertical direction. Clear? First point. Okay, first point. Initial velocity in x direction is u cos theta. Yes, we already know that. Initial velocity in y direction is u sin theta. Is u sin theta. Okay, now after that, force in x direction as well as force in y direction. Very important thing. Okay, the first concept which we are going to understand from now is force. Clear? Now look, when I am throwing a projectile, okay, when I am throwing a projectile, as soon as this projectile detaches my hand, I am no longer applying any force to it. Clear? Okay. But when this projectile is in air, continuously gravity is acting on it. Okay, can you tell me gravity is acting on x-axis or y-axis? Okay, just tell me, gravity is acting horizontally or vertically? Yes, it's acting vertically downwards. Okay, so vertically downwards means which axis? Y-axis. So we say that here that force on y-axis is non-zero, whereas force on x-axis is 0. Clear? Very important. I am repeating it again. Okay, I am throwing an object. No force acts on x-axis or no force acts along x direction. The force which is acting along y direction is gravity, and that is acting downwards. Clear? Okay. Now, next point. Let's say acceleration along x-axis. So beta, if force along x-axis is 0, it's simple. that acceleration along x-axis is 0. Okay, so you can say, sir, what type of questions you are asking here? That if force is 0, acceleration is also 0. Then next, if force along y-axis is non-zero, then there will be acceleration along y-axis. Okay, which force is acting on the object? Gravitational force. So its acceleration will also be acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. So it is given by minus g. What does this negative sign indicate? That acceleration is downward. What does this negative sign indicate? That acceleration is downward. Okay, so at every point the acceleration acting on this projectile is vertically downwards. Clear? Okay, now let's move ahead. Then after this, let's give velocity along horizontal direction or along x-axis after time t. Okay, now again, what you will say? Array sir, acceleration is 0. If an object moves with 0 acceleration, then its velocity remains constant. So, velocity along x-axis will be, final velocity along x-axis will be equal to initial velocity along x-axis. That is, it will be u cos theta. Okay, then after that, velocity after time small t. Velocity after time small t. Clear? Okay, so let's apply v equals to u plus at. Can we? Yes, we can. Why? Because acceleration is non-zero. Okay, what you can you apply this equation for horizontal direction? Okay, yes, technically I will say no. Clear? But you can say that, sir, acceleration is 0. That's why final velocity is equal to initial velocity in horizontal direction or x direction. So here for y-axis we are applying v equals to u plus a t. Clear? Okay. So vy, final velocity after time t, equals to initial velocity means uy plus acceleration in y direction multiplied by t. So Vy will be u sin theta minus gt. U sin theta minus gt. Clear? Okay. Then next, moving towards next topic. Okay. Velocity at height h. Velocity at height h. Clear? Okay. So again we will say that in x direction, as there is no acceleration, so there will be no change in velocity. Velocity will be constant. Remember beta, I want you to memorize this fact that along x-axis no force, acceleration 0, so velocity will be constant throughout. Whereas we can give this point down. What we will say, velocity at height h. Velocity at height h. So I am applying v square minus u square equals to 2as. So in vertical direction it will be v square minus uy square equals to minus 2gh. So vy will be under root uy square minus 2gh. So vy will be under root u square sin square theta minus 2gh. Minus 2gh. Clear? Okay. Now let's analyze this situation. Okay. So here we are assuming that this situation after time t. Okay. Here is the velocity. Here is our projectile after time t. So look, we will say that this is the velocity of this projectile. right now. This is the velocity of projectile right now. Okay, so this will be Vx and this will be Vy. And here, what will be our this angle? What will be our this angle? You will say, sir, of course it will not be theta, because look, can you understand that the angle made by the projectile with x-axis changes continuously, it changes throughout. What happens at this point? I am saying that this is maximum point. At maximum point, this will be the direction of motion of projectile, so it will be parallel, okay, or 0 degree. The velocity of projectile will be parallel to the x-axis. So I am assuming here angle to be alpha. Clear? Now listen, let's make it once again. This is velocity v, this is vx, this is vy. Alpha is the angle made by it. So vx will be u cos theta and vy after time t will be u sin theta minus gt. U sin theta minus gt. Clear? Okay. Now if they are asking that what is alpha or what is angle made by this projectile after time t, so what you can say that tan alpha equals to vy by vx. Can we say? Yes, we can say tan theta equals to perpendicular divided by base. So vy by vx. Here we can write u sin theta minus gt divided by u cos theta. Divided by u cos theta. Clear? Any problem with that? So if they ask you that what's the angle made by projectile after time t, we can use such equation. Okay, so what is alpha? Alpha is the angle made by the projectile with x-axis after time t. After time t. Okay, now you can copy all this. After this we will move towards deriving the equations of projectile motion. Clear? Okay, you can copy it. Okay. So first equation is equation of projectile. Equation of projectile. Clear? Now, in x direction. Okay, what do we remember? That along x direction force is 0. If force is 0, then acceleration is also 0. So but if we have this thing, then we can simply use speed equals to distance divided by time. Okay, now why I am using this? Because acceleration is 0. Okay, when there is no acceleration, then we can use simply speed equals to distance upon time. And when there is acceleration, we actually use the kinematic equation, that is v equals to u plus at, s equals to ut plus half at square, and so on. Clear? So speed is u cos theta. I am saying distance along axis to be x, time t. So x equals to u cos theta multiplied by t. X equals to u cos theta multiplied by t. Clear? Okay. Now, in y direction, I am applying s equals to ut plus half a t square. Let this equation be equation number 1. So here S will be hy, or simply let's write it as y equals to u y t minus half g t square. So y equals to initial velocity along y direction is u sin theta multiplied by t. Can we substitute from this equation 1 that t equals to x divided by u cos theta? So here I am writing x divided by u cos theta minus half g. Again I am writing x as x divided by u cos theta square. So y will be u cancelled by u. So here x tan theta minus half g x square divided by u square cos square theta. U square cos square theta. Okay. Now this is your equation of projectile. This is your equation of projectile, and it is clearly parabolic. Okay. So what do we say? That a projectile follows parabolic path. What do you say? A projectile follows parabolic path. Okay, so I am writing clearly projectile follows parabolic path. Okay, then next, time of flight. Okay, very important. Here I will tell you 2 to 3 very important concepts. Okay, time of flight. So projectile. Okay, projectile follows a parabolic path. Now parabolic path is symmetrical. Parabolic path is symmetrical. What is symmetrical? I hope bio students knows it very well. Okay, so here, like if this is my highest point, if this is my highest point. Clear? So imagine that I am lifting this projectile here along this axis. Okay, so I am lifting it, and now I can superimpose this half, the half which is towards right of this line, means this half completely over this half. Clear? Now time of flight. Next thing is, what happens at maximum height? Can you tell me about velocity at maximum height? Many of you might be saying that, sir, velocity at maximum height will be 0. No, beta. I want you to understand this thing very clearly, that velocity at maximum height is not 0. Okay? For example, let's see that what you are saying. You are saying that velocity at maximum height is 0. So this is maximum height. My projectile is at maximum height. According to you, velocity at this height is 0. So, and if it's 0, then it should fall like this. Are you getting? But the projectile moves on further. Okay. Now remember, at maximum height, velocity in y direction is 0. It's not 0 in x direction. And why is 0 in y direction? Because it's maximum height, or because it's the maximum point achieved by projectile. Why it's not going any further? Why it's not going any further? Because its velocity along y direction or vertical direction is 0. Okay, why when projectile is at this point, let's say P1, and it reaches to point P2, y velocity in y direction is not 0 because it is not its highest point. So these are vice versa of each other. A projectile reaches its maximum point when its velocity in y direction is 0, or we can use it in this way also, that if velocity in y direction is 0, it is the highest point. Okay, clear? Then but our projectile still moves. It moves in forward direction, and velocity in forward direction, or velocity in along x-axis, or velocity in horizontal direction is u cos theta. Are you getting it? So remember this point very clearly, that at maximum height velocity is not zero. Velocity in vertical direction is zero. Then what's velocity? The velocity at maximum height is equal to velocity in horizontal direction. Clear? Okay. Now for time of flight, I am applying v equals to u plus at. So vy equals to uy minus gt. What is t? Time taken by projectile to reach maximum height. So at maximum height, vy is 0, uy is u sin theta minus gt. Clear? So here small t can be written as u sin theta divided by g. U sin theta divided by g. Okay, now here we will say we know that parabola or parabolic path is symmetrical. So time of ascent is equal to time of descent. So the capital T is our time of flight. Capital T is our time of flight. It will be 2t. So it will be 2u sin theta divided by g. 2u sin theta divided by g. Okay. I hope you are understanding this. That time of ascent means time of going towards maximum height is equal to time of going to or time of reaching to the x-axis. That's why we are saying that capital T, time of flight, is actually 2 multiplied by small t, that is 2u sin theta divided by g. That is 2u sin theta divided by g. Okay, now you can copy this. We have to calculate two more things. One is this distance. This distance is known as range, and other this height or maximum height. Clear? Okay, you can copy this. Okay, clear? Now moving further, let's calculate maximum height. It is very easy for you now. Okay, maximum height. I'm using equation v square minus u square equals to 2as. So it will be vy square minus uy square equals to minus 2g capital H. Minus 2g capital H. Okay, tell me just one thing. At maximum height, velocity in y direction is 0. Okay, we already know that. We know this fact. So velocity in y direction equals to 0. Okay, what's initial velocity in y direction? Very good, u sin theta. So it will become u square sin square theta equals to minus 2g capital H. So capital H or maximum height will be u square sin square theta divided by 2g. U square sin square theta divided by 2g. This is our maximum height achieved by the projectile. Then after this, range. Okay, calculating range is really easy. Range means distance in x direction. Okay, along x direction. Will we use equations of motion? No. Why? Because there is no acceleration. So what we use? Simply speed equals to distance upon time, or distance equals to speed multiplied by time. Okay, so distance along x-axis equals to ux multiplied by t. Now I am saying for range it will be ux multiplied by capital T. What is capital T? Time of flight. So ux will be u sin theta multiplied by u cos theta multiplied by 2u sin theta divided by g. Clear? Now look, I am writing it as u square 2 sin theta multiplied by cos theta divided by g. Now who will tell me what I can write here? 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. So I can write it as u square sin 2 theta divided by g. Clear? Okay. After this, what I'll say, that look at these two things, this u cos theta and u sin theta. Okay, this is one way of writing range. Other way of writing range is that I am writing this 2 as it is. How I can write u cos theta? Yes, ux, u sin theta, uy divided by g. So this is another way of writing it. Clear? Any doubt? Okay. Now let's see some important points. Okay, so you can put a note and start discussing some points. Clear? Okay. First of all, that if theta 1 plus theta 2 is 90, theta 1 plus theta 2 is 90, then R1 equals to R2. Okay, let's understand this. I'm throwing two projectiles at different angles, and those two different angles are theta 1 and theta 2. Clear? Okay, so this is one projectile, it makes an angle of theta 1, and this is another projectile, it makes an angle of theta 2. If theta 1 plus theta 2 is 90 degree, okay, or they are which angles? Supplementary angles, then my range will be 0. The range of both projectile will be, sorry, not 0, will be equal. Are you getting this? If theta 1 equals to theta 2, then range will be same. Okay, what about height? Obviously, height will be different. Okay, can you tell me about height? Where height will be different? Or where height will be more? So look here, h equals to u square sine square theta. You know that the value of sine theta increases with theta. Okay, sine 0 is 0, sine 90 is 1. So while going from 0 degree to 90 degree, the value reaches from 0 to 1. So as angle increases, height also increases. That's why you can clearly see that because of this, I have made height greater of angle theta 2. So I am saying if theta 2 is greater than theta 1, then h2 will be greater than h1 and vice versa. Are you getting this? Okay, so this is one very important point. Now let's move to the next point. Okay, maximum range. Okay, now suppose I am saying you that your velocity is fixed. Okay, your velocity is fixed. You can't throw any projectile with greater than a certain limit. Let's say that you can throw a projectile with 20 meter per second only, and I want you to maximize your range. So what you will think that, sir, this range is given by u square sine 2 theta divided by g. If I want to maximize range, then I can maximize the sine 2 theta. Okay, yes, you can maximize the sine 2 theta. So our maximum will be u square divided by g. Okay, then it means that sine 2 theta equals to 1. Sine 2 theta equals to 1. Okay, if sine 2 theta equals to 1, it means that 2 theta is pi by 2 or 2 theta is 90 degree. From here we can say that theta will be pi by 4 or 45 degree. Very, very important thing. Okay, so if you want to maximize your range at a given velocity, at a given speed, then the angle made by your projectile with x-axis must be 45 degree. Are you getting it? Okay. Okay. What will happen if I throw my projectile at this 90 degree? Will it be a projectile? No. Okay. Because 90 degree means this. Okay. If you are throwing a projectile this, you will bombard yourself only. Clear? Okay. Remember, after this complete thing, write down one more point, that while studying projectile motion, we assume that only gravity is acting on the object or on the projectile. No other forces, no other forces such as air resistance or drag acts on the projectile. Clear? Okay. Now you can note this. After this, we will move towards questions.